Hi, welcome to a video of my flea market finds for Sunday, June 29th, 2025. Probably one of my most random selection of purchases in one day. I made 19 individual purchases, some at the same back at the same table as before. But in chronological order, here I spent my 5 hours this morning at the flea market. The man selling caps, bought a collection of caps from some other guy. Sold me a couple of caps for $5 last week. This week he had a few more new ones, but they were $2 each this time. This one was there last time. I didn't care for $5, but since I have a CTV TV station, Montreal TV station cap, I thought it would make sense to get this TVA Canada 10 Channel 10 cap. Of course, you have to know what it is because there's no lettering, but I knew it was TVA. $2. And I left behind another cap at $2. They were all $2. It was La Ronde Six Flags, but not vintagey for me. Okay, I have so much. I'm trying not to reveal too much. Then there was a guy with some records. I started looking at them and made myself a stack and asked him how much they were. He said $10 each. I put them back in the box. Way too much. He started looking at them, and I don't remember. There was 7 LPs. He said 45, or I don't know if he said 40 or 45, but anyway it was way too much. So I put them back in the box and started checking stuff at 2 stations later. Stations. I'm looking for the word kiosk. And then he actually walked out towards me and said, like, well, okay, what can you make an offer? Is $5 each okay? And then I started talking. I walked back with him, stopped right in the middle of whatever I was checking. I forgot after to go back to that table. It's when I did a second turn that the seller of the other kiosk asked me to finish checking what I was checking, which I didn't buy anyway. But going back to the records, I explained to the seller, that the first 3 were like kitsch, ordinary records. I would give $2 each, which we'll look at in a moment. And the other 4 records were worth $5, because it was so clean. All of these records are very clean. Although the first 3 and the last 4, I don't think they're from the same owner. So here we have an exercise record, Le secret de la jeunesse avec Jean et Jeannette, une gymnastique en musique. J'ai déjà ce disque-là, mais pas sur l'étiquette coque sonore. Et celui-là, il est propre, on dirait qu'il n'a jamais joué. Il y a le plastique dessus, mais en plus, j'ai vu que dedans, on va l'enlever comme ça, on va pull it out here. J'ai le livret. Il est propre, il n'y a rien d'écrit dedans. Sur Discog, celui qui est montré, il y a plein d'écritures dedans, moi il n'y a rien d'écrit. Ça c'est Jeannette Bertrand. She's a very important woman in Quebec. She did a lot for the cause of women. She turned 100 years old this year, still writing, and so yeah, so it's so clean, I needed to get it. Then I got this one. I thought, ooh, I like André Pop. He's a unique composer. Like, he did a lot of French pop music. No pun intended. And this one, the shrink wrap still around the cover. Well, I won't pull it out with just one hand, but it looks unplayed. It's incredibly clean. I've played the first side so far. I love it. I love, and not that I tried to screw the seller, but I didn't know how much it was worth. I had no idea how much it was worth. Apparently, according to Discogs, the last copy that sold for $32, and there's one copy for sale at $18. I don't care that much about the exact figure. I'm not going to sell it. I'm keeping it. I'm just glad sometimes my instincts. I don't have a smartphone connected to the network. When I go there, I don't pull out a phone and scroll and check the value. I despise people who do that in front of the seller. And anyway, I got this, and then I got this one. That's just nice music, but it's also very clean. The record barely has ever been played. I have some original pieces. I always check if they're just covers. Or Pierre Nalès, Quebec composer, and here we have this guy is Roger Pilon et son orchestre, Amour, délices et 3 petits points. Roger Pilon, I think there's one that says Pilon there, so he co-composed one piece there. So I said, yeah, I'm getting that because it's so clean. And these are the records worth $5 at least. Deepest Purple, the very best of Deep Purple, with Smoke on the Water on it. The sound, however, is really low on it, but thank goodness it's very clean. This I've seen a lot. I'm not even sure do I have it or not, but definitely not this clean. I mean, it's then the inner sleeve is really in good shape. So Joe Cocker's Greatest Hits, that one $5 is a little bit much, especially since my favorite song by him is not even on it. It's Pardon Me Sir, because I had the 45. Well, as a teenager I used to buy used records at thrift store, and I had found a warped scratched up copy of Pardon Me Sir, and I liked it a lot. So anyway, but I've checked it and it plays impeccably. And this is a French pressing of a compilation called The Kings You Really Got Me on Mode, made by Vogue, pressed in France, and it plays really well. Nice sound and 12 hits. So yeah, definitely $5 each was a very good price. 10 I didn't. No, I wasn't. This is not worth $10. You see it all the time. So I paid 20. So when I came back and I explained to him the first three, they were more or less in this order. Those are like $2 records, but those I can pay $5, so that would be 26. He said, yep. So he accepted my $26 offer. And I was the first one to go through them, so yeah, because those last ones there, Deep Purple and the Kinks, those are the kind of records you have to be the first guy to go through them to get them, otherwise you're the second guy, forget it. Then the same seller who sold me those records had a box of 45s. I went through all of them. I pulled out a few. Some are and some are better. So I pulled out 8 actually with this one, but this one I could tell it would play roughly, and I couldn't tell if it was a nice yee song or just an ordinary song. I tried to read the groove and I couldn't tell. Sun wasn't quite out today, it was really cloudy, so I left it without the sleeve, because usually I sleeve up the records I pick. So I said, well, this one is rough, there's 8 of them, but this one is rough, so $7. He said yes. So this is sort of free, and rightfully so, because it's not as good as I thought, and it's in terrible shape. This, I made a mistake that I think I used to have a record by her, maybe even the same one, I don't remember, but one name girl singers from the 60s. I always hoped it's going to be some yee stuff. Now it's a little bit more run-of-the-mill, ordinary French singing. Jennifer, viens, mais ne dis rien. And Pour l'amour de l'amour, Jennifer. I forgot to even say the title of this one. Comme font les poupées, Pierre Derry. J'ai tué, Pierre Derry. It's French-Canadian because it's Georges Tremblay's on orchestra here. Balboa Blue by the Markets from Liberty album Surfers Stampede on this side. This is of course Your 16 by Ringo. It doesn't say the B side. I have to pull it out. Devil Woman. Record is not that rare, but the sleeve is. I don't see the picture sleeve very often. This, now we're getting to the good stuff. Nitty Gritty, Marie-Claire, Tu peux repartir. Nitty Gritty is a cover of a song by, what's her name, who sings The Name Game. Forgot her name. And Tu peux repartir, I forgot that it's a cover of which song. Anyway, it's not in perfect shape, but it's still plays not too bad. It's actually worth more than I thought, so that's cool. Forgot how much I saw it for, but this one is rougher than the ones that sold. Encore by Lilou. Tzigane Lilou. So that's a French-Canadian band. I'm always on the lookout for that type of stuff. Worth a few dollars. Not a fortune, but Deux garçons pour une fille. Arlette Zola. Je ne suis plus une enfant. Also worth a few dollars. And this one, it has a bad bend on it, but I'm going to lay it flat against under something heavy to flatten it out. So it's a record reader, Le Retour du Jedi, La Garde des Étoiles, Dominique Paturel, and the record is in great shape, no scratches. So that makes up for the crappy ones in there. So I got this additional selection for $7, so that's good so far. Gotta make sure that I laid out the stuff in a certain order, but I gotta check because it's yeah. Then there's a seller who was happy to see that I remembered his name. I'm trying to practice remembering the name of some sellers. I write them as sometimes I don't dare ask them because I've seen them for a few years. I still don't know their names, but when I hear their neighbor seller, the seller, whoever seller is next to them, call them by their name, I stop everything, I write it right away. I did that for another seller that I didn't buy anything from, but I didn't remember his name, and I wrote it right away before I... Okay, so let's cut to the chase, because the video is going way too long. So this seller sold me some good 45s in the past, had some cheaper ones for 50 cents, two for $4. So I, to encourage him, I got 4 of them for $2. This one I wasn't sure what kind of music would be. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Mr. Bojangles, and a longer version on the other side, which says prologue. How do you pronounce that word in English? Uncle Charlie and his dog Teddy. But he doesn't play so well. It's not as good. I've seen that name before. Produced by William E. McEwen. I think I saw that on a Steve Martin album. Yeah. Not supposed to remember stuff like that. You Can't Hurry Love by the Supremes. I only played this side today to see if it played well. Put Yourself in My Place, and it's pretty good. Original sleeve. Boogie Child, Bee Gees, Lovers, Bee Gees, both from the album Children of the World, which I think I have. I played this side of the 45 today. I don't recognize the song at all. It's from 1976. This is 280s for me, but I kind of collect Kool and the Gang records. Stone Love, and this side is Dance Champion from the soundtrack of Ruthless People. This side is from their album Forever. Just Forever? Yeah, Forever. So if I see the album Forever, I won't buy it because it sounds way too 80s for their good. But I gave $2 for this. What's next? Oh yeah, a nice purchase. Mr. Spick and Span, that's how I call him. I keep showing it every week. It's the guy who sells all kinds of stuff that he lays on the ground, and he sold me this box of Spick and Span last year, so I just go by the name. I don't, not in his face, but in my notes, Mr. Spick and Span. I was looking at everything, and near his vehicle, in the back of his lot, he had on the ground a bag of bags, and I saw something like that. I said, oh. So I moved towards the bag. He was busy talking to another client. And I start going through them and putting some aside. And he turns to me and said, "Are you looking for bags?" And, "Yeah, yes. And let me go through his bags of bags. So his bag of bags, sorry. And I pulled out 15 bags. And I was like a kid at Christmas. And I showed him the stack of bags. I said, $3? Yeah. I said, yes, I'm giving $3. I was so happy. There's 15. I didn't know how many. There's 15 bags, so that's 20 cents each, right? Yeah. Dollar divided by 20 cents each. Yeah, I'm so tired right now, mentally speaking. So I'll try with one free hand to show what I have. 2 bags of Miracle Mart, which was owned by Steinberg. I'll have the same texture. Might not be the same size. I'm not sure if they're the same size. I didn't want to unfold them to create new folds in them. Then I got 2 Bunny Mart bags. Bunny Mart. Oops. Then I got 1 Simpson bag. It used to be Simpsons. Then it was just Simpson. They removed the apostrophe S. Anyway, Simpson. Then I got, I've never been to the store, I don't remember what they sold, but I remember seeing this cool logo in the malls, especially Carrefour Laval and other malls, such malls from the same owner. Moustache. I think they sold like, I don't want to guess what they sold, we can guess. Probably body products like, I don't know. But just a cool logo, and so 70s-ish. Moustache. And 1 Pascal bag. It was a little bit like Canadian Tire. They sold hardware stuff, but also all kinds of larger variety of stuff. I bought 45 RPM records and even LPs at that store at Carrefour Laval. They had a Pascal there. So a nice Pascal bag. Oh, come on. That's why I didn't want to unfold them. Sorry about that. Pascal. And then 6 different sized consumer distribution consommateur bags. Those are rare. Never see consumer distributing bags anymore. And I worked there for part-time for 4 years between 1986 and 1990. I did everything in that store except being a manager or working at the jewelry counter. Everything else I've done. Everything else during the 4 years I was there. Name it. I emptied the truck, put the stuff in the shelves, picker, taking the piece of paper, the order through the little hole in the wall, running in the aisle to get the stuff, put it through in the wall on the counter. Being the guy who calls the client with the little paper in the microphone, selling the item, preparing the payment for the person at the cash, working the cash, working the return counter. I've done all that in the span of 4 years part-time. One of the best jobs I ever had, consumer distributing. And I once served René Angelil, Celine Dion's husband and manager. I don't think, no, they weren't married back then. Of course, that was in the late 80s. And speaking of consumer distributing, they owned also a toy store, Toyville, Toy City. I have a small and a large Toyville bag. And because it was owned by consumer distributing, for a few days I remember they needed me there. They sent me in the warehouse of the Toyville. So I did work in the Toyville just for a few shifts, not with the clients, the customers, but in the back store, in the warehouse. I don't want to put more folds in it. Okay, let me put this down. Sorry for the intermission. I'm really finicky about these vintage bags. Don't like adding too many more new fleeces, and this is a really cool bag. There you go. Okay. I once bought a giant plush for my mom, but remember that. Then, next purchase, after these cool bags for $3 for the whole bunch of bags. Looks like I'm going to have to do part 2. I'm going way too slow. But let's show a few more things. Yep, the guy who sold me a few comic books for $2 last week, now he was having what is leftovers for $1. So I got this one, which I already have, but I don't remember in which condition. And at $1, I couldn't leave it behind. Germain et nous. I'm going to speak in French for a little bit here. Germain et nous, c'est ma bande dessinée préférée. Je sais pas par cœur quel numéro que j'ai. La seule façon que je peux le savoir, c'est en ouvrant le livre et en regardant les gags. Puis si je reconnais les histoires, là, je sais que je l'ai. C'est comme, il faudrait bien que je regroupe toutes, sont éparpillées dans mon sous-sol, mais que je me fasse une liste lesquelles que j'ai, lesquelles que j'ai pas. Mais j'adore ça. C'est des adolescents de la fin des années 70, début 80 en France. Puis c'est tellement cool. C'est plein de gags d'adolescents. Il y en a un qui est un collectionneur de disques. Il y en a un qui joue de... je sais pas comment décrire ça. C'est tellement cool. So Germain Nous is my favorite comic book character. It's a series. I collect them. I don't know by heart which numbers I have. I recognize them by reading a little bit through them when I find one. I don't remember how many exist. I have some are soft cover, some are hard cover, and the ones I have, didn't remember if I had this in hardcover or soft cover, but for $1 I had to take it. What's next? Germain Nous comic book. Yep, I got this François Hardy compilation for $1 because of a song that I don't think I have on CD. Moi vouloir toi. Problem is it's a remix. It's not the original, so I was disappointed. Well, $1. Compact disc, François Hardy. At one table, then there was a whole bunch of stuff that belonged to an elderly woman, I think, and a lot of string and all of these words I don't know how to say in English. Artisanat, ficelle, god damn it. But there was this pair of scissors for 50 cents. So I tested it with a piece of cardboard I had in my fanny pack, and it worked, so I gave 50 cents for a pair of scissors that cuts. And at the same table, there were a few odd things, and I found these 4 photos in black and white of early 70s French-Canadian singers. Michel Richard, autographed. They were marked at 25 cents each. I got all 4 photos for $1. Jacques Salvaille, popular singer of the early 70s. René Martel, and this one is autographed. René Martel is not autographed. Didn't matter because I have an autograph by her that I got. I got her to sign her record a few years ago. She's passed away now. And Mimi Itsu, autographed right here. When she was 8 years old, the previous decade, she recorded a cover of Dominique by Sœur Souris when she was 8 years old. And I have the album and the 45. And so I got these 4 photos for $1. And I think I'll show... No, we'll cut right here for part 2. So skip to part 2 for the rest. Thanks for watching so far.